Am I? I'm Joel Hoekstra. I play guitar, one, in the Broadway production of Rock of Ages, and also played it off-Broadway. And had a little cameo in the movie as well, which is cool. I was Rocker, I believe my title was in that. And I also play guitar for the band Night Ranger and for a Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Yeah, oddly enough, it kind of happened from the theater side of things, even though, I was performing and playing in a band whose music is in the show. It came from kind of the nuts and bolts of working in theater around town here. I kind of started subbing for a friend of mine doing like pit stuff, which I thought would be just good for my playing to kind of keep me busy when the band wasn't on tour. And I ended up subbing on a show called Tarzan, and I met our current music supervisor on that show. He was the keyboard player on that show. So when it came time to look for a guitar player for Rock of Ages, he happened to think, hey man, I remember this dude being down there with long hair, working on his rock licks, and he looked me up and said, man, he's a Night Ranger and everything, this is a perfect fit. So
you guys are in front, you are actively performing during the show. How is that different for you?
Well, it makes it a whole lot more interesting, that's for sure. It's also harder work, but it's well worth it at the end of the day. I think for myself, I love being on stage. I'm not quite ready to send myself into the pit for the rest of my life, even though that's totally awesome work. And I mean, I'm not looking down my nose at it. Someday I'll be perfectly happy with that. But it's totally awesome to be on stage right now and get a chance to interact with the audience. And I think that's really half the gig with the Rock of Ages band is making the audience feel like you're there to party with them and have a good time, and loosening them up and getting them in the mood to go along with the story and soak it all in. Yeah, I mean, the band has spent a lot of time together now. I mean, we've been doing this for almost 5 years. And we know each other really well, and we also know exactly how we each play the show. So I think we play together really well. And we have a good friendship. Backstage, we're downstairs, so it's a lot of laughs. I mean, we're always horsing around, and I think that helps keep it in the right mood for what we're doing, and makes it feel a little bit less like we're just laboring away. We have a good time with it. We really do. I mean, I don't know if you can honestly say you're hitting 100% of the time on all cylinders, but I think what carries you through is if you really love what you do, which I think we all do, and I certainly do. I mean, I love the show. I believe in it. I think it's really funny. I like to think that we're giving people like a really fun night out. And so at the end of the day, I think that's what it's all about. Do you feel good about what you're doing up there? If you don't love it, then I think you do get uninspired. And we all have our moments of weaknesses. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Of course, you get a little rundown here and there from doing 8 a week over the course of 5 years. But we definitely love what we do. My favorite moment so far? Gosh, that's really hard. It's going to sound really effed up, but I love when stuff goes wrong. I love when the actors miss their entrances and things like that, and we're just stuck in like an awkward silence, or things like that are the things that stick out. Or when the audience members get in fights, or it's all the stuff like that makes those individual shows memorable for us, because we do so many of them. It's almost these days it's almost like when everything goes as planned, it's almost boring. Oh, we've seen it all. We've seen it all. We've seen people stand up and start punching the person next to them, coming down on them when their arms are waving a little too much in front of them, or they're singing a little too loud, or they won't sit down. And I mean, we've seen it all. And, it's quite honestly, it's really friggin' fun to be a part of something like that, as opposed to a tame, straight up theater, play or something like that, where the audience is going to be on their best behavior. And certainly the band guys, we love it. Some of the actors might say, hey, you're stepping on my lines right now, but the band, we couldn't be happier when stuff like that happens.
You guys have like eclipsed Guys and Dolls.
Yeah.
Like these classic Broadway musicals.
Well, the thing you're leaving out of that question is that we are clearly more badass than Guys and Dolls. I mean, this is a great show, and it's totally underrated, and still is always the underdog, and that's the beautiful thing about it. We love that, and I think the show plays really well that way. Where no one sees us coming, man. They come in and they sit down and they go, what is this? You can see the set already. It's just this, little intimate theater, and then we come out and we just kick them in the teeth, and they go away having the best time they've ever had. I mean, I'd like to just keep on rolling, man. I can't imagine doing anything else on Broadway that I enjoy this much. not even close. I can't imagine, having some moment where I get to play the music I enjoy on stage and, be playing the music of a band that I'm in on stage. And I mean, it's too much fun. I think, what really makes me happy through it all isn't necessarily even the guitar playing in a way. I think it's just really like, making people feel like they're having a nice night out, like a fun night. I love that, I love bringing like the party to the show, that element, the rock end of it. And, while other people might thrive on the story end of it, I like to be the guy that's there for the dudes who are like in the house that just are there to party and they love the tunes. And I like to, let them have a good time. There's so many funny moments that have occurred over the years of doing the show that, it's sort of like when Spinal Tap says over the years there's been, 75 band members in this band, you can't really remember individual ones, but there's just so many great moments that all kind of come together to make this beautiful experience that we call Rock of Ages. I started when it came to off-Broadway, when it came to New York, so I wasn't part of the very, very beginning, but I definitely feel like I've seen this thing change and evolve like a ton since it's been here. And I figure with off-Broadway, I think we're somewhere around, 1,800 performances or something at this point in time. So, I mean, it's, I've definitely done a lot of the legwork on it, I feel like.
You make it legit. You're like, guys, come on.
Well, I don't know about legit, but I hope I make it fun. That's really the important part, I think. If the moment you lose the fun in rock and roll, and that's kind of what happened like after the era of the 80s and the 90s, I like to be the person that reminds everybody that we're here to have fun and just like relax and like don't think of this as like a serious theater experience, even though it is. It will surprise you, but I like to just let people know to like loosen up and have a good time with it.